It was a bustling Friday evening at the Grand Table, a high-end restaurant known for its exquisite cuisine and elegant ambiance. Among the staff working tirelessly to ensure every guest had a memorable experience was Jordan Carter, a black man in his late 30s. Dressed in the restaurant's signature uniform, a crisp white shirt and black vest, he moved through the dining area with confidence and ease. Jordan had spent years building his dream from the ground up. The Grand Table wasn't just a restaurant to him, it was a testament to hard work, resilience, and his passion for food and hospitality. But most of the patrons didn't know that. To them, he was simply the waiter. That evening, a group of 4 well-dressed customers walked in, their laughter and chatter filling the room. They were seated at a prime corner table, and Jordan was assigned to serve them. As he approached the table with menus, he greeted them with a warm smile. "Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Grand Table. My name is Jordan, and I'll be taking care of you tonight." One of the men, a tall, silver-haired individual with an air of arrogance, glanced at Jordan and smirked. "Jordan, huh? Well, let's see if you're good at more than just carrying plates." The group chuckled, and Jordan's smile remained steady. "Of course. Let me know if you have any questions about the menu." As the evening went on, the group's dismissive comments continued. "Hey, waiter," one woman called out, snapping her fingers. "We've been waiting for our drinks forever. What's taking so long?" Jordan, maintaining his professionalism, brought their drinks promptly. "Here you go, I hope you enjoy." The silver-haired man leaned back in his chair, looking at Jordan with a smirk. "So, Jordan, how long have you been doing this?" "Waiting tables, I mean." Jordan paused for a moment before replying calmly, "A long time, sir." "Long enough to know that serving people is more about passion than time." The man chuckled. "Well, maybe one day you'll work your way up to manager, if you're lucky." The group erupted in laughter, and Jordan simply nodded, his expression unreadable. Little did they know, they were about to learn a lesson in humility that would leave them speechless. As the evening wore on, Jordan continued to serve the table with the same level of professionalism and grace he offered every guest. Despite their condescending remarks and dismissive attitude, he ensured their glasses were always full, their plates were cleared promptly, and their every request was met with a polite "certainly." The group, oblivious to his composure, continued their chatter. "This place is nice," the silver-haired man said, swirling his wine. "But it's no 5-star establishment. I mean, the staff's decent, but they could be better trained." One of the women, laughing, added, "Maybe they just need better management. Someone with a bit more experience." She glanced at Jordan as he passed by, her smirk lingering. Jordan overheard the comment but chose not to react. Instead, he signaled the kitchen to prepare their dessert orders. He knew the time for his response was approaching, and he intended to make it count. When the group finished their meal, Jordan approached the table with the bill, neatly folded in a black leather folder. "Here's your check," he said, placing it gently on the table. The silver-haired man picked it up and scanned the total, pulling out his credit card. As he handed it to Jordan, he said with a grin, "Let's hope you don't mess this part up, too." Jordan took the card without a word, walked to the register, and returned moments later with the receipt and pen for the man to sign. "Thank you for dining with us," Jordan said, his tone steady. "Before you leave, there's one more thing I'd like to share." The group exchanged curious looks, their laughter dying down. "Is this where you try to upsell us on something?" the man asked with a smirk. Jordan smiled faintly. I just thought you might like to know that this restaurant you've been dining in tonight isn't just my workplace, it's my business. I'm not just your waiter, I'm the owner of the Grand Table." The table fell silent, their smug expressions replaced with wide-eyed shock. "What?" the silver-haired man said, sitting up straighter. "You're joking." "I'm not," Jordan said calmly, pulling a card from his pocket and setting it on the table. It bore his name and title, Jordan Carter, owner and executive director. The group stared at the card in stunned silence, the weight of their behavior sinking in. "Thank you for your feedback throughout the evening," Jordan added, his tone polite but pointed. "I'll be sure to take it into consideration as I continue running my 5-star establishment." With that, he turned and walked away, leaving the group speechless. The table remained silent long after Jordan walked away. The silver-haired man stared at the card in disbelief, his earlier confidence replaced with visible discomfort. The others shifted awkwardly in their seats, stealing glances at one another as if waiting for someone to speak first. Finally, one of the women broke the silence. "Did he just say he owns this place?" The silver-haired man cleared his throat, trying to recover. "Maybe he's just saying that to mess with us. No way he's the owner." "His name is on the card," one of the others pointed out, her tone uneasy. "And look around. He's been supervising the entire evening, not just waiting on tables." The group fell into an awkward silence again, realizing the truth. Meanwhile, Jordan retreated to the back office, where he took a deep breath and allowed himself a moment to relax. Despite his composed exterior, dealing with such condescension wasn't easy. But he had built the Grand Table to be more than just a restaurant. It was a reflection of his journey, and he wasn't about to let anyone diminish that. One of the younger waiters, Sam, knocked lightly on the door and poked his head in. "Hey, Jordan," Sam said hesitantly. "That table, they look like they just saw a ghost." Jordan chuckled. "They needed a little humility. Hopefully they'll think twice before treating someone like that again." Sam nodded. "You handled it like a pro. I don't think I could have kept my cool." Jordan smiled. "It's not about stooping to their level. It's about showing them that respect costs nothing, but it means everything." Back at the table, the silver-haired man finally stood up, his credit card and receipt still in hand. He approached the host stand, where Jordan was now speaking with another guest. "Mr. Carter," the man began, his voice slightly unsteady. Jordan turned to face him, his expression neutral. "Yes." The man hesitated, then extended his hand. "I just wanted to apologize for earlier. I didn't realize—" "You didn't realize I was the owner," Jordan interjected, finishing the sentence for him. "And you shouldn't have to. Respect shouldn't depend on someone's title or position." The man flushed, his hand still extended. Jordan looked at it for a moment before shaking it briefly. "I hope you enjoyed your meal," Jordan said, his tone polite but firm. The man nodded quickly. "Yes, it was excellent. Thank you." As the group left the restaurant, their earlier arrogance had completely dissolved. Jordan returned to the dining room, where he was greeted with warm smiles from other guests and staff who had witnessed the exchange. "You handled that perfectly, boss," one of the servers said. Jordan smiled. "The goal isn't to embarrass anyone. It's to remind people that respect is the foundation of everything we do here." The Grand Table was more than just a restaurant. It was a place where values mattered, and Jordan intended to keep it that way. The following week, word of the incident spread throughout the community. Regular patrons of the Grand Table were unsurprised to learn of Jordan's composure and professionalism. Many admired how he had handled the situation with grace rather than anger. A few days after the group's awkward departure, Jordan received an unexpected letter in the mail. The return address was from one of the members of the group, a woman named Claire. Inside, Jordan found a handwritten note. "Dear Mr. Carter, I wanted to apologize for my behavior during our visit to your restaurant. I was part of the group that disrespected you and your staff, and I deeply regret how we acted. You showed remarkable grace in how you handled us, and it left an impression on me. Please accept my sincere apologies, and thank you for teaching us a lesson in humility." Jordan read the letter twice before placing it in his desk drawer. It wasn't the first apology he had received, but it reminded him why he remained patient in the face of adversity. The following weekend, the restaurant was packed as usual, with regular customers and new faces alike. Jordan moved through the dining area, greeting guests and checking on their experiences. One table seated near the window stood out to him. A family of 4 was enjoying their meal, and the father called Jordan over as he passed. "Mr. Carter, I just want to say thank you," the man said, shaking his hand. "We heard what happened last week, and it's inspiring to see someone handle such a situation with so much dignity. You're a role model for this community." Jordan smiled warmly. Thank you for saying that. I just believe that everyone deserves respect, whether they're running a business or just trying to make ends meet. The man nodded. It shows, and it's why we'll keep coming back here. Jordan's leadership also had a positive effect on his staff. His ability to stay composed under pressure and lead by example inspired the entire team to treat every guest with kindness and professionalism, regardless of how they were treated in return. One evening, as the restaurant was winding down, Sam, the young waiter, approached Jordan with a question. "Can I ask you something?" Sam said. "Of course," Jordan replied. "How do you stay so calm when people treat you unfairly? I don't think I could do it." Jordan thought for a moment before responding. "I remind myself that their behavior says more about them than it does about me. And if I react with anger, I'm letting them control the situation. Staying calm shows strength, and sometimes it even changes their perspective." Sam nodded, clearly taking the advice to heart. As the night ended, Jordan stood by the restaurant's entrance, watching his staff finish their tasks and the last guests leave. The Grand Table wasn't just a restaurant to him. It was a place where respect, kindness, and hard work were celebrated every day. Months after the incident, the Grand Table had become more than just a restaurant. It was a symbol of excellence and inclusivity in the community. Regular patrons often praised the establishment, not just for its food, but for the values it represented. Jordan Carter continued to lead by example, ensuring his team upheld the restaurant's reputation as a welcoming and respectful space for all. His staff grew increasingly proud to work under his leadership, finding inspiration in his unwavering commitment to fairness and professionalism. One evening, Jordan hosted a special community dinner at the restaurant. The event was aimed at supporting local charities and bringing neighbors together. The dining room was filled with laughter, the clinking of glasses, and the hum of lively conversations. During the event, a guest stood up to make a toast. It was Claire, the woman who had written Jordan an apology letter after the initial incident. "Good evening, everyone," she began, her voice steady but emotional. "I'd like to take a moment to say something about the man who brought us all together tonight." All eyes turned to Jordan, who stood at the back of the room, his expression one of quiet humility. "Several months ago, I was part of a group that treated Mr. Carter disrespectfully," Claire continued. "We assumed he was just a waiter, but we couldn't have been more wrong. Not only is he the owner of this incredible restaurant, but he is also a man of integrity, grace, and strength. That experience taught me a lesson I'll never forget. Respect is owed to everyone, regardless of their title or appearance." The room erupted in applause, and Jordan nodded graciously, his heart full. Later that evening, as the event wound down, one of Jordan's regulars approached him. "You've created something truly special here," the man said, shaking Jordan's hand. "It's more than just the food or the ambiance, it's the way you treat people. That's why we keep coming back." Jordan smiled. "That means a lot to me. The Grand Table was always meant to be more than just a restaurant. It's a place where everyone is welcome and respect is at the heart of everything we do." As the last guests left and the staff began cleaning up, Jordan stood near the entrance, reflecting on how far he had come. The journey to build the Grand Table had been filled with challenges, but moments like these made it all worthwhile. The restaurant wasn't just his dream, it was his legacy, a testament to the power of hard work, humility, and kindness. And for those who had once underestimated him, Jordan's quiet strength was a reminder that true success isn't about titles or appearances, it's about character. As he locked the doors for the night, Jordan smiled. The Grand Table wasn't just a restaurant, it was a statement,